What's going on, everyone? It's APOC, your favorite host and Jealousator, and welcome to the channel. Okay, so here we are yet again with Justin and Mahogany. You know, the Jacksons of Atlanta, and apparently they have something to say. They have something to tell us. But before we do dive into all that nonsense, because that's what it's going to be, all I have to say is just wow. Because for the past few days, I dove a little deep into their channel, and man, these two are like some of the most laziest and gross vloggers that I've ever seen on this platform. They're just as bad as the Prince family. Well, they're just wannabes. They wish they were the Prince family. They wish they were making their money. But like I said, they're lazy. 80% of their vlogs are them just sitting and standing around saying a whole lot of nothing. It's all just gibberish, talking about things that don't even apply to them, because they do all the things that they claim they don't do. They do the opposite of what they're preaching about, which I'm pretty sure that's what this video is going to be about. Okay, let's get to these goofies who have like 2 transitions per video.
But I'm happy you brought that up about Kevin Hart, because I want to talk about that. About basically how he's been expanding.
Well, we already know that they're all about expanding. Have you seen all their channels? They exploit their kids on the family channel. They exploit their kids on that twin channel. And then they have their own channel. These two are money hungry, and it shows. And they do it in such a gross way too.
You know, because he's really big on you don't owe nobody anything.
Is that what this video is going to be about, man? Not owing anyone anything? God, I'm so sick of that. Vloggers always spew the same horse doo-doo, man. All of them, like every single one. They'll tell you that they don't owe you anything or have to explain anything that they do. But when it's not based around lies, manipulation, and deceits, then they'll always want your opinion. They're always asking for everyone to put their opinion down in the comment section. Oh, but they don't like it when people are actually questioning them, huh? Bet you that's what this entire video is about.
He explains that you don't owe anybody anything.
Yeah.
And by the way, when you have a following that's loyal to you, and they're the only reason why you have any money at all, because they watch your content, you do owe them an explanation. These vloggers, man, I'm telling you, they just want to do whatever they want with no questions asked, no ifs, ands, or buts, nothing. They just want a huge bot following.
You never know, what was it? You don't owe
Okay, Justin, just get it out already.
anybody an explanation.
Yes, you do. When they're the only reason why you have anything at all, yeah, you do owe them something. Because they're the only reason why you have a paycheck.
And that thing stuck with me for years. That's been about 3-4 years ago now.
3 or 4 years ago, he was told that. But his oldest channel, which is their family vlog channel, is only like roughly 2 years old. In the video where they pushed out where they talked about their so-called loss, all they did was talk about the haters, the people who are going to question them. And you know, if you really have that mentality that you don't owe anyone anything or have to explain anything to anyone, like, fine, cool. But then why did you upload a video explaining your loss? You didn't have to do that. He said in the video that's one of the hardest videos that they ever had to put out, which I didn't get that vibe, man. They seemed pretty okay to me. I mean, Mahogany looked tired, but you know, she just had a baby. Just one though, not 2. She didn't lose one. They lied about that. Probably through just about the whole pregnancy, but nobody forced them to put that video out. They chose to do that themselves. If they don't feel like they need to share or explain anything, then why don't they take the time to themselves to be with each other, to focus on them and their family, instead of uploading to share with their community? They literally did the opposite. This is what I was saying earlier. They do the opposite things of what they're preaching. They're constantly doing it.
So many people will try to say, why are you doing your business that way? Why are you starting that business like that? Or
Why you raise your kids?
Why you raise?
I mean, they really could just be asking a question. It's not that big of a deal. But hey, you know, I'm giving these two too much credit because they cannot stand it when people aren't bootlicking them. And this applies especially to Justin, the so-called pastor.
And I used to be a person, I used to answer to everybody, you know, trying to be why I do it.
Bet you he still does that. Or at least he'll just block people, because I've had several people tell me that they were blocked by them because they were asking questions. Dude even struck another channel, a smaller creator, because she was talking about them, because she was exposing their lie. So if you're not pressed about what other people are saying, then why are you blocking and trying to terminate channels, Justin? Oh, that's because you actually do care, because you're a pressed little man. So instead of engaging with the people that follow you to try to understand what's going on here, you just block and delete them. Yeah, because that's much better, huh?
I feel like some people will really almost make you feel guilty for not explaining to them why you make the decisions that you make. Like,
Okay, so I bet you she's about to give an example of what she's talking about, and it's gonna be dumb. Because last time she gave an example of what people are going to say, it was just like, oh, you deserve it. Like, who says that to somebody who just lost a baby? So I'm sure this example is gonna be real good.
Say that when it comes to raising your kids, maybe you don't let your kids, this is just an example, you don't let your kids have high seat. People like, why you don't do that? Why you don't need to do that?
Exactly like I just said. It's gonna be dumb. And it was. Her example of people questioning her parenting is if she lets them drink high C or not. That's your example? This chick just lost a baby and a ton of people are wondering to what the hell's going on here. And they're just trying to understand. There's people out there who don't want this to be real. I don't want this to be real, man. You think I enjoy this? I would rather not make this video, just like the other two. I'm gonna keep exposing, yeah. Oh yeah. We're not done here, not even after this one. But I don't like this. I lost my son. This isn't okay. I don't want to believe that people have that within them, like within their heart, to use something so horrible, such a tragedy, such a pain and experience that a lot of people go through, especially women, and use it as content to put money in their pocket and gain clout off of. I don't want this to be real. Oh, but you can bet your butt, man, that I will be using this as fuel to keep on exposing these people and keep putting that pressure on them. Because with these two, there's a lot more than just faking child loss. And we're gonna get to the bottom of all of it.
And they'll almost put you in a place where it's like you have to explain to them why you make the decisions that you make. But ultimately, I feel like it's between you and God.
Oh man, here we go with the God stuff again. Look, I'm a man of God myself, but it seems like everything that they do, all their money moves, they always want to point to God. And to me, it kind of seems like they're trying to use them to kind of like opt out of what they're doing, saying it's only up to God. Only God can judge us. Which, you know, at the end of the day, they're not wrong, but it does not mean you can still like sin. You know what I mean? You're supposed to do better. You're supposed to be better. You're supposed to try to be like Jesus Christ.
Like your God may say, I want you to lead your kids this way, or I want you to do this business this way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that God didn't tell you to exploit your children online to a bunch of strangers.
God says, this is the idea that I want you to move on.
Oh, so maybe I'm wrong for exposing these people and everyone else is wrong for exposing them because apparently God led them and told them to fake a twin pregnancy for almost an entire pregnancy and then go on and fake a stillbirth too.
It reminds me of like Noah in the Bible.
Oh man, she's not about to compare herself or Justin to Noah. Dude and his family were literally like the only good within an evil world. That's why the earth was flooded. She is not about to go into a whole ass rant comparing herself to Noah. Please tell me that she's not about to do that.
And God has spoke specifically to Noah. And he told him to build this ark.
Child exploitation and family vlogging is not an ark. God instructed Noah to build the ark to again save him and his family and every species of animal. That was God's mercy and recognition that there were still some people out there who were still following him. And Noah got a lot of crap for it too. The only difference is he was actually following God. You guys are not following God. There was like a greater purpose to Noah and the ark. There's no purpose to what you're doing aside to put money into your own pocket. There's just no way she's comparing herself in child exploitation and faking child loss to Noah and the ark. There's just no way. This cannot be real.
When you building this, you look stupid. It ain't about the rain. It ain't about the flood. You talking about a flood. It ain't never flood. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You doing da-da-da-da. People say all this stuff.
Oh my God, Justin and Mahogany are so cringy, it's insane. So first off, she's comparing herself to Noah and the ark and God flooding the earth to destroy all evil. But now she's talking about Noah getting slack for building the ark. Mahogany, did you even read the Bible? It literally says that Noah warned those people to repent and to be baptized or else they would be destroyed by those floods. And that's why they were angry with him. And so they wanted to turn on him because he was saying these things. It literally says this in the Bible. So why are you comparing that to what people say online? Again, Noah and the ark was an important thing. You having a YouTube channel, exploiting your children, and being materialistic is not important whatsoever. You're not trying to save anybody. You're just trying to be rich and famous, and no one's trying to hurt you. They're just calling out your bad behavior.
Noah had heard from God.
And I think one of the things is the reason
Highly doubt that they heard anything from God.
why we think we owe somebody an explanation is because
Again, I just love it that these two are talking about not owing anybody anything or an explanation and using Noah and the ark as an excuse while Noah was explaining what would happen to people if they didn't repent, that they would literally be destroyed by the floods. That's their example. They don't know what they're talking about. Do not listen to them. Do not take any advice because they have no credibility whatsoever.
they assume and we want to kill their story or stop them from assuming like we want to fight like they saying what it is, and it's like,
Oh, well, you sound a little pressed there, buddy. Yeah, a lot of us are wondering as to why you fake child loss, and you haven't answered that question. Now, I understand some petty things, like I know that there are petty people online, but we are claiming that you faked a whole ass life while also faking child loss. That's a big and bold claim. And the fact that you're not saying anything and you're clickbaiting videos like this, because that's what this video is, it's clickbait. It speaks volumes. It says a lot, man. It really does.
People are going to say what they want to say. People are going to believe what they want to believe. They're going to write the narrative. They're going to write and be the author of that particular club.
Oh, well, here we go with the narrative stuff. Nobody's writing a narrative against you. We're going off of the content that you post. Your deception is literally in our face. We're just reading the narrative that you wrote within your own book.
And you'll spend all day literally trying to get people to understand something when it's just sometimes just you got to keep going.
They say this, but then they have their Justin and Mahogany channel where they explain things to people.
And I think people do it too. They just write narratives about you.
You mean like you guys? Because your entire channel is a narrative. You guys spin stories or situations on your channel, use them as clickbait, and then push it out as content to make money. One of your kids will get a scratch, but the title and thumbnail that you push out makes it look like they're dying.
You got to learn to not explain to anybody and let your actions. Yeah. That's what I had to learn. My mama.
Your actions are though. So this doesn't really apply.
Tell me something. She said, I can show you better than I can tell you.
This doesn't make any sense or apply to anything we're saying or any of our questions at all. What is he talking about?
Explain myself because my actions and how I move and how I do, I can show you better.
People are questioning your actions though. That's the problem. You say you don't want to explain anything, you'll just show. The problem is all you did was show and you didn't explain. We've seen what you've been doing. We've seen your bad behavior and actions. Now we want an explanation. Oh, but you're not going to give that, huh? You'll just keep being bad.
So be encouraged, y'all. Don't feel like you need to explain why, God may have led you to do your business like this or why you raising your kids like this.
Do they just stand around in every single video and say the same things over and over and over again, but they just like tag team and switch?
Don't let nobody make you feel guilty for not explaining.
Okay. Justin is not drinking out of a Jacksons of Atlanta mug. Wow.
Literally, Noah had heard from God concerning the thing. Mm-hmm. And people thought he was stupid. People wrote, I'm sure back in that time, people wrote their own narrative. Said Noah's this, said Noah's that.
Yes, after the fact of Noah warning them to what's going to happen to them if they don't repent or get baptized. That again, they would be destroyed by the floods. He explained these things to them. There was a reason. Do you not know the reason why Noah was building the ark? How are you two pastors? I don't know if they're both one or if it's just Justin. I don't know. But how are they or just Justin a pastor if they can't even understand as to why Noah was building the ark in the first place? There was a reason why God had him build it. Noah tried to save other people, but they refused. This example is horrible.
And Noah probably wanted to say, no, but I did hear from God, or no, this. But the thing is, Noah just was focused on continuing to just build.
No, he was warning people.
And one thing Tyler Perry said, you watched a couple episodes.
Okay, so we're going from Kevin Hart to Noah and the Ark and Tyler Perry.
He asked Kevin Hart, said, how did you get basically where you got? How did you, all the success, Tyler, how did you do it? And normally the people that asked me were the same people that, basically criticized me or told me I never make it because I ignored that.
But you don't ignore it though. You don't. You're one of those types who constantly talks about the so-called jealous haters. You'll call us lowlives just because we criticize you. Yeah, that's real pastor-like, man. You're a real man of God. But hey, what should we expect from someone who sexualizes his wife in front of others? Oh, and as for the Tyler Perry thing, Tyler Perry makes movies. He doesn't exploit his children or fake child death.
And that's what you have to do. You don't owe anybody anything. Do it the way God called you to do.
You know what's funny? This actually applies to me because when my son died and during the healing process, I discovered this need and want, this motivation and fuel, I guess you can say, to expose people like Justin and Mahogany. That's my motivation. But apparently me calling that out makes me jealous. Makes me a loser.
That's always my current encouragement to anybody. Don't try to be like anybody else, but be the best you. Because that's the only person you should ever be in competition.
Okay, hold on. They're literally a family vlog channel who is a carbon copy version, like a copy and paste version of the Prince family. And they use all the other clickbait that all the other family channels do. They're literally one of the most unoriginal family vlog channels that I've ever seen on this platform, along with being the laziest. So you know what? They can get out of here with the whole, oh, just be yourself, guys. Because all they do is steal content ideas.
And honestly, to have, and I think we talked about it in another video, you'll be able to have that joy.
Oh, you mean the last video that I covered where Mahogany is talking about not feeling like herself and Justin's too busy stuffing his face and not paying attention to his wife who just lost a baby? Now, I have been getting some comments saying, well, APOC, what if that video is pre-recorded? And it might be. And so might this one. But here's the thing. If you look at the titles, they're still clickbaited around like a loss. So even if they're pre-recorded, they're still capitalizing on the loss itself. So no matter what, it's bad anyways. But the videos being pre-recorded is just like an assumption because there's no actual proof that they were pre-recorded. So I'm just going to assume that they weren't.
And listen, they'll talk about you and all that, but listen, you don't owe nobody nothing. Who cares?
God, man, these guys are like a broken record. But you gotta love it that he keeps talking about the people they say he doesn't care about.
Do you, baby?
And a lot of times,
Yeah, exploit your children, guys. That's what he's saying. And if people question that, or if you fake a loss, who cares? Just do you, baby.
And that's how I feel about people. I love you, bye.
Yeah, if they ever get canceled and kicked off the platform, that's what we should all say. Love you, bye.
You can't hate because you popping and they trying to, basically they keep on talking.
This mentality is so lame, man, because he's assuming, which is funny because he spoke out against assumptions earlier, but he's assuming that anybody who criticizes him or judges him is a loser. That's what he's saying. That's what he's calling all of us. But he doesn't know anything about any of us. But he's assuming that we're all lowlies.
Listen, people only talk about people
Kind of like what you're doing?
that are doing something. A lot of people will hate you.
That they're doing something? No, that's not true. Maybe we think what you're doing is wrong. I'm not jealous about anything that you have. And I find it so funny because what they're saying is that we're all jealous of their goals and aspirations. But again, that's just assumptions. They're assuming that we want what they have. I don't want anything they have. Like, not at all. But it is funny, though, because they'll talk this big game about how others will crap all over their goals. But by both of them just assuming that we're all just envious of what they have and that we have nothing of our own is literally crapping on our goals in our lives, which is exactly what they're speaking out against.
For being consistent, a lot of people hate you for being just who you are.
No one hates you for who you are. I don't even hate you. I just hate what you did, which was fake child loss and also exploit your children. But I don't hate you personally. That's too much energy, man. I just want this crap to stop.
They'll try to discredit you, but
And you guys discredit yourselves.
okay?
baby, I don't owe you nothing. Listen, we got
No, he's doing that not because he's like mentally strong, because he's not. In fact, to me, he seems like a weak little man. But point being, he's just shaking off all the haters because he's getting paid.
A lot of times, those people that are trying to, I don't know, come against your goals, your visions, come against you as an individual, it reveals something inside of them.
Oh, I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming. I bet she's going to talk about how we're insecure because we're like criticizing and judging them for doing something horrible.
A lot of times what happens is people look at you and they want to criticize you because ultimately
It's coming. It's coming.
you reflect something about them. And what I mean by that is they'll try to criticize you for going for your goals. And it's
Not goals. We'll criticize you for other things, but continue.
because you're reflecting and revealing their insecurities that
What I say, people, what I say. I knew she was going to say insecurities. Bro, we're not insecure. We just think you're dog water. But again, let's let her continue on, assuming that we hate on them and their goals because we're jealous and envious and that we want it or something, while also assuming we even want their goals at all.
they're afraid to go after theirs. So since they're afraid to go after theirs, they say, okay, let me criticize this person that is.
So now she's saying that people like us are afraid to go after our goals. Hey, I'm going after my goals right now by making this video and continuing on with my channel. I'm doing just fine with my goals. And again, she's just assuming that we want the same goals as them. Everyone has different goals, man. And mine's definitely not being materialistic and greedy. But no one's insecure here, Mahogany, Justin. No one's jealous of you. No one wants to be you. They're pissed off at you. So, know the difference.
So since they're afraid to go after theirs, they say, okay, let me criticize this person that is.
No, they're literally judging us just for asking questions or for criticizing them, which, by the way, criticism, especially constructive criticism, isn't a bad thing, but they're making it seem bad. You know why? Because it questions their narrative.
But always remember this to keep moving forward. Ain't nobody got the final say but God.
Again, they're not wrong with that, but here's the thing. Justin and Mahogany seem like the types to just think that if you believe in God, if you believe in Jesus Christ, that you'll just go to heaven. Like you can sin and keep doing what you're doing, but as long as you leave it to God, then you're Gucci. But that's not how it works. And that's how you know these two never even read the Bible, because in the Bible, it literally states in Matthew 7:21-23. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out demons, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then he will profess unto me, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. As in, it doesn't matter if you just believe in Jesus. It doesn't matter if you just believe in God. It doesn't matter if you cast out demons. It doesn't matter if you do wonderful works. If he doesn't know you on a personal level, he will cast you out. That's what it literally says in the Bible. But hey, I don't really expect Justin and Mahogany to know these things. They don't even understand why Noah was building the ark. Anyways, all you jealous haters, to conclude this video, well, that's all I really got for now, folks. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. They have a cookbook on their counter or whatever, like Chrissy Teigen, which I do find funny because it's speculated that she lied about her loss as well. But anyways, do me a favor, guys, like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and leave a comment down below what you think, and I will catch you guys soon. And yes, I will be making more and more videos on these two because they're insane. But for now, bye.